So I actually ended up recording this entire trade recap, and then when I went to go play it back, I realized that my microphone was not connected. So I ended up yapping for like 20 minutes, and now I have to start all over, so I'm going to keep this pretty brief, because there's no point in spending like 40 minutes on a trade recap. So for today, I ended up making $431.80 on each of my accounts. So in total, that's $861. Wait, 62. But who's counting? And I'll also refresh. Like, these aren't, edited or anything like that. These aren't fake. But it's going to show two trades because I ended up taking partials. I've explained that before. It'll break down your average trade to a smaller amount because, again, you exit out of some positions. Makes sense. So best trade for today was technically 224, but overall it was 430. I'm also going to show my stats for the entire month so far. So I started trading these accounts last Tuesday. So let's go to Tuesday, and let's do from Tuesday to today. I'm at just about 1.4K. I have a 90% win rate, just about 8 winning trades, 1 losing. My profit factor, which is ratio of total profits divided by your total losses, 14.28, which is awesome. Yeah, so pretty cool stats. And like I said, I'm going to try not to yap too hard, so let's just honestly hop right into the video. I already have the daily time frame pulled up for both NQ and ES. So around the time of my trade, which was around market open, we were right around here. We were currently trading into this new day opening gap, so I didn't really have a bias on where price wanted to go because it could go either way. It could go up or it can go down, and there wasn't really much for me to base that on. So I didn't end up taking any trades, obviously, until I had clear confirmation on which way price wanted to go. So immediately what I notice on the 4-hour time frame is that we have an unfilled imbalance right over here that is waiting to get filled. We also have this unfilled imbalance, the same one, on ES that is also waiting to be filled conveniently. And we had three bullish fair value gaps on the way up. So these purple boxes are imbalances or fair value gaps. And again, around where I took my trade was just about over here. We were right around over here in price. So what I expected was for us to start over here, tap into this bullish gap, and continue upwards to mitigate this huge imbalance. What we ended up doing, though, was actually coming all the way down to this gap, and we're pretty much, about to inverse it. We were really close to inversing it. And then we'll probably go up. So, even though I had the wrong target for our reversal, I was still able to make really good money today. Let's go down to the 1-hour time frame, which I didn't really use today, but our 4-hour gap pretty much perfectly coincided with this 1-hour gap. So I should have known, honestly, that this would be the higher draw because this is a huge imbalance that would eventually have to get filled. So these are how the time frames align with each other, guys. The weekly time frame aligns with the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame aligns with the 15-minute time frame. And the 15-minute time frame aligns with the 1-minute time frame. The monthly time frame aligns with the 1-day time frame. The daily time frame, sorry. The daily time frame aligns with the 1-hour time frame. The 1-hour time frame aligns with the 5-minute time frame. So if you're seeing confluences on the 4-hour, you would then look on the 15-minute. If you see confluences on the 15-minute that align and support your bias from the 4-hour time frame, then you would look for an entry on the 1-minute. And same thing, but obviously with these time frames. If you see something on the daily time frame, you're going to look on the hourly time frame to see if that supports your bias on the daily time frame. If you see a confluence on the 1-hour time frame, you're going to scale down to the 5-minute time frame and look for potential entries there. And also, furthermore, you can even go down to the 15-second, which aligns with the 1-minute. But that's a pretty advanced one. because price is moving really, really fast. So I would not recommend that for anyone. I ended up using it today for a little bit, but I would not recommend that for anyone yet, especially if you're just starting out. But let's get rid of that. Let's come back up here. I'm on the 15-minute time frame. I'm going to turn on my indicator for my kill zones and pivots. This kill zones indicator is just an indicator that shows you the price action during the sessions. So there's Asia session, London session, and then New York AM and PM. So what happened during the Asia and London? We started down here and we made a move during Asia. During London, we came back down, we took out the Asia high, and we immediately swept the Asia low. Then during pre-market, we took out this London high. So what would I expect? The London low to get swept. And that's exactly what happened. Also, once we took out that London low, let me get rid of this and this. We're now in a high time frame imbalance, which I'm going to mark out like this instead. So in between these two red lines is the imbalance on the 4-hour that I was looking at. We're currently trading into a high time frame imbalance. So what would I expect? Price to react off of it and continue upwards. And my draw on liquidity was up here, this purple area, which is this bearish 4-hour imbalance on both NQ and ES. I thought that would be the draw. So I started trading a reversal to the upside. I looked for a change in the state of delivery and an inverse fair value gap. We inverse this fair value gap with this candle. And I honestly entered, like I said, a bit prematurely, right off to close that candle. My stop loss was, I believe, down here, and I was targeting some internal liquidity that we engineered on the way down. I was targeting these highs over here for a 57, almost 60 point move. What I ended up doing though was taking out partials at this point because we had some relative equal highs over here. Oh no, it was I think this one, because we had relative equal highs. And then I just trailed my stop after that. You're probably wondering, what is this gap in price? This happened at exactly 10 a.m. and that is the impact of news on the market. Some news came out at 10 a.m. that was, probably negative, and it ended up shorting the entire market, which stopped me out of my position. And also, I think it honestly altered the entire market structure because we ended up dumping after that for a huge move. Like literally from 10 a.m. onwards, we just dumped for I think a couple hundred points, 300 points. That's fine. But my draw on liquidity was wrong for the day, but I was still able to capitalize because I had my confluences aligning with my overall bias, trading out of a higher time frame. We had swept some external liquidity over here from London session. We had engineered liquidity up here that had not gotten swept yet, so it needed to get mitigated. It needed to get swept. And what did we do? We came out and took most of that engineered liquidity. We traded into this imbalance though, and price reversed. We actually ended up inversing this gap, so I was pretty confident that we were going to hit my final target, but we didn't. So I ended up only making $431 today, where I could have made probably around, I believe, 600. Not sure though. So, good trade for the day. Always want to make sure you have good risk management. Oh, I also ended up sizing down for this position because when I entered, I didn't have the change in state of delivery yet. As you can see here, I entered off the close of this candle that inversed this fair value gap right here. But we clearly don't have a change in the state of delivery yet because this candle, we would want to close above it since this is the candle that manipulated lower and created a low. We would want to close above this for a change in state of delivery. If I was to really wait for that, my entrance would be all the way up here where I would only catch, 30 points. What else? Is there anything else I want to go over? Should be all. Solid trade for the day. Like I said, took partials, wasn't too greedy, and I honestly just targeted internal liquidity, which is awesome. So, can't complain. But I'm going to keep this mindset moving forward for the rest of my trades, try to continue with this 90% win rate, and honestly just keep going even higher. I want to have a nice win streak. I want to get funded, obviously, as soon as possible. And I really want to be smart with my trades so that I do not risk my capital. I don't risk the profit that I've already created. And I don't risk blowing my accounts. That is never going to be an option. I don't want to revenge trade. I don't want to over leverage. I want to stay consistent. I want to stay disciplined. And I want to continue with the mindset that I currently have, where it comes to making my little $300, $400, $500 a day and being 100% okay with that. Because if that's the case, I will hit my profit target in 2 to 3 weeks, which is fine. There's no rush. The goal is to get funded. It's not a race. The goal is simply just to get funded. And I'm going to make that happen. So, I'll see you guys on the next one.